Hello and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. I'm here currently on the short-term chart for BTC. Bitcoin has bounced back into the resistance area, which is not unusual. I mean, given that this area there where the previous swing lows are positioned, here, let me go to the left, here around 107,400. Yeah, here, these are the swing lows, by the way, from around the 4th of July and the 8th of July. What you see here currently is that the, those swing lows here, yeah, they are exactly there. So we found structural support on Friday, Saturday, and then Monday again, and then overnight, right? That was sort of the last video I made when the price was giving us another three-wave move to the downside. And so you can see that in this pullback in wave B, the price formed a three-wave move down, which allowed me to understand that we might see another push into resistance because it left us without any confirmation here for a major top in wave 2. Yeah, any three-wave move down typically allows for higher prices. I also shared a triangle with you guys yesterday. This triangle broke down, and then the price found support again, and now we're pushing into resistance. Does that change anything? It doesn't change anything. So structurally, we still have, we have seen exactly what we, let's say what we wanted to see, or what the outlook was for the weekend, for the long weekend, which was a bounce into resistance. In that process, the price deviated from a standard ABC pattern. This was like the standard ABC, and formed a more complex WXY pattern, which is, again, the same thing, a wave 2 correction, but it became more complex, which isn't too unusual given that it was holiday weekend, right? And so when the correction was actually finished, a three-wave move, the price couldn't follow through to the downside because there was just not enough volume, obviously, think about it, to push the price lower, we would have needed enough selling pressure to drive the price through the books, right? To cross the spread in the order book and then push the price lower. Didn't happen, so the market just spent the entire weekend between support and resistance. And so what we're dealing with here is just kind of sideways consolidation. We are below resistance. It is seen as a wave 2 corrective bounce. And I label this as a WXY structure, and I gave you a target here for wave C of Y late yesterday. The price has reached it. Why this target? So this is the area between the 100% extension and the 161.8 extension, between $110,130 and $111,750. Again, this is an ideal target area because normally a C wave should reach those extensions. If we deal with Fibonacci resistance like this, we would normally expect in such a wave 2 for the price to stay below it. Not necessarily below the blue zone or below the 161.8 extension. This is just an ideal target area for wave C. More important are the parameters, the boundaries of the current wave 2 bounce. You have a difference here between what is Fibonacci resistance, like retracements, and what are internal targets. Now, in a target area, normally we would expect a reaction, in this case, to the downside. Not that I necessarily want that, right? But it is just the most probable outcome in a wave 2 bounce. It also tells us, it doesn't mean it has to happen, right? It just tells us if it doesn't happen, if we push higher, and then also break above standard resistance at $112,170, it more likely would indicate that a larger bounce is unfolding. Okay, that doesn't mean it's all bullish, but it means a larger corrective bounce, maybe driven by the US stock market or by some financial metrics. Today we've got some indicators come out, some data is coming out today and the rest of the week, so there can be some decent volatility later today. Please note that $112,170 is the level where probabilities start to shift towards something more bullish, and the invalidation point is at $113,527. That's the formal invalidation point, and that is, invalidation of a 1-2 set up to the downside, but it doesn't mean we are then going to break out to all-time highs necessarily. However, it is very much possible that we're then going to address the area around 118 to 120K. This would then be a larger resistance area I would put onto the chart. And yeah, it points towards this area 120, 117.5K, which could then be tested next, next decision moment. And this is also in line with the overview of the, let's say, the liquidity parameters I shared yesterday, like, you know, a heat map basically, right? Liquidation heat map. If we go to the to our X profile, you see here that there is a lot of liquidity to grab, to remove in this area around 118 to 120K. That is very much in line with the Elliott Wave structures. A lot is up there. Like, it starts already at just below 115K. Quite a large cluster of liquidity up there. So there's many orders sitting, so it is very much possible that the price will move towards this area to fill these, get that grab that liquidity, and that would be in line with a larger bounce that could be unfolding. But to confirm that further, we first need to break above initial resistance. So that's the update on Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, yeah, I invite you to join us here on X for additional updates, charts, and news, and so much more. Thanks so much. The link, by the way, is in the description and in the comment section. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.